Today, let's break down the best Town Hall 12 attack strategy that you can use with the Super Giants and the Witches. What's going on, my friends? My name's Corrupt. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are looking at two extremely strong troops that synergize extremely well together for a devastating combo, and that is none other than the Zap Witch with the Super Giants. Along with this, you want to look at the base design and see if it's good enough for this. Usually it's going to depend upon the siege machine that you bring as well. So like in this case here, you can get all the way across the base and use a jump spell by using the Wall Wrecker. But along with that, your major threats are going to be the Multi-Infernos, Eagle Artillery, and the Town Hall. By using the lightning spells to get rid of the Infernos along with any other interior structures, it's going to make it easier for the witches on the flanks, which is incredibly important, which the flanks mean being on the outside. So you'll see the use of the lightning spells and the earthquake in order to get rid of the structures right behind the Inferno while still touching that Inferno tower. That way you're able to get rid of that and other structures right behind it to make it even easier for your attack to move through. At this stage, you can then just go ahead and use a couple super giants, like in this case, using 3 on each side with about 3 witches. That way you can create the funnel with them, kind of be patient with it, and then be able to send the rest of your witches in while you have the super giants there to tank, and along with that, your heroes. So as you can see from here, we've got the warden moving in. You really want to make sure that the warden is going in with your wall wrecker, so that way you can get it all the way across the base. Now, even if it doesn't make it all the way, you've got the use of the jump spell, which is incredibly good, and I would highly recommend bringing it, especially if there's a lot of DPS like you see here with all these 4 expos. So using the jump spell just gives you access to it, and it could prevent you from getting a 1-star if that does happen. So keep in mind that a jump spell can really be useful, and it could really help your troops, even something like a P.E.K.K.A., which is going to do massive damage, especially if you have a rage spell underneath them. But outside of that, it really kind of goes over exactly what you're doing. Everything else on the flanks is pretty simple. It's just allowing the witches to kind of clear this side. Since those sides are practically open now for the witches, you really don't need to worry so much. And you can have all of your witches to just really overwhelm the rest of the base. Pretty simple stuff if you ask me in terms of using this attack, and it really opens up different sort of variations of this, including the use of the log launcher. But if you ever wanted to use the wall wrecker, you can always go ahead and do that too. Now, very similar to the first one, this one is using the log launcher instead. Another thing you may have noticed is the bowlers. This can be used in order to create the funnel on either side to support the witches on the sides. That way you're able to push in with the super giants and also the witches with the heroes and the log launcher. Another thing to keep in mind is that you can still use this against a single target inferno. If there's 2 or more single infernos, maybe you should just go ahead and use 4 lightning and 1 earthquake. That will be a lot better than going ahead and using the traditional 8 lightning and 2 earthquake. So usually though, you want to just take a look, especially if there's a single, you want to be open to saying, all right, I can take these down, take as many of those structures down, and just focus on getting the Eagle Artillery and the Town Hall to make your life easier when using this attack. It's very, very simple. You don't need to worry about the single target Infernos, but you want to be able to make sure that you're able to get rid of as many of the defenses around the Inferno Towers, or at least weakening up some of them, like the Expos, for instance, since you only need 5 lightning to get rid of it instead of the 4. So usually though, I would highly recommend at least just letting them kind of sit, but at low HP. So you can see from here that we're using the super giants, the witches, and the bowlers to create the funnel on either side to make it easier for the rest of our witches, the 8 witches that we have, and then the log launcher and the heroes to move straight through. And this attack can still work with low level heroes. I've done it live with lower level heroes, at least Town Hall 11 max, and it works incredibly well still. So I would definitely recommend using this attack even if you have low level heroes. As you can see from here, we've got a nice push into the base, but another big thing that you may really want to do is preserve as much health from the log launcher. That log launcher is going to be the only way that you're going to be able to get through from a distance, since it's very slow, but it shoots those logs continuously. So you want to be able to get right towards that town hall as quickly as you can, dealing with the enemy clan castle troops and allowing yourself to get to that 2-star by getting rid of the town hall, while the flanking witches or the witches on the side are taking care of the rest of the base. So we're still bringing a jump spell, and there isn't another area of the base that we would really need to cause a heavy threat, but mostly it's just to get all the way across the base and make it easier for the rest of your push, which is the reason why the jump spell in this case can get over to the single target Inferno, since that is still going to be a defense that you want to get rid of, and you don't want that to target onto your heroes. So you want to be able to make sure though that you're able to still move through and have a really good time doing so. And by allowing yourself to use the lightning spells to get rid of everything, be able to create that straightforward pathing for the rest of your troops, you're going to make it even easier for yourself to get through the triple, and allow yourself to just easily crush a base. This combination is incredibly strong, using the super giants and using the witches, and also just adding the lightning spells there, and maybe even using the newest siege machine there. Now, what if a base design looks like this? You have 3 Inferno Towers in one particular compartment, and I know there is a very common base design that has something very similar to this in the core of the base. So how do you deal with these type of bases? Well, you just get rid of 2 of the Inferno Towers set to multi, and then you want to be able to look at that 3rd multi-Inferno and the Town Hall. What you're going to be able to do is you want to focus in on getting rid of the Town Hall and the Inferno Tower, and you could always go ahead and use some of those outer witches with a super wall breaker to break them open towards the Eagle Artillery. That's a little bit of a big brain play, but it's something that you could do in with the rest of this attack. Normally though, I would highly recommend using the lightning spells first. It's always really going to be a very good help. So you want to be able to make sure that what you're able to do is get rid of as many of them, and along with that, try to weaken up that Inferno Tower as much as you can. So the one that you're going to be going into, you want to try and weaken that up as much as you can, and you could always go ahead and use that log launcher to take it down. So normally, like I've shown in the previous examples, using a couple witches on the left and on the right in order to make sure that you're able to get some smooth sailing into the base. You don't even need to use that many super giants as well as you move in. But the main goal here is to get all your troops to go right towards that town hall, or right towards this direction here. So using the log launcher is incredibly good. You can always use a super wall breaker like you see here to allow some of the regular witches to go right in for that Eagle Artillery. So then, while that's going on, you've got the use of the log launcher. It can take down defenses like the Inferno Tower, for instance, and you want to preserve as much of its health as you open up every single layer. Look at how much of the base it's going to be able to open up just from using the log launcher. That is why it is incredibly strong. And then you could have the P.E.K.K.A. and the Ice Golem in there, or you can go ahead and bring something like a Yeti, for instance, if you choose to do so. But you want to be able to get towards this town hall as quickly as you can. Unfortunately, you may lose some witches along the way. You could use a free spell if you did bring it, but if you have an Ice Golem, you might be able to get to that town hall without having to worry all too much about those witches starting to die off too quickly. But again, remember, the jump spell, that jump spell is incredibly important, because what that allows you to do is get across the base and to other compartments that normally you wouldn't be able to get to. So definitely, if I were you, I would totally bring a jump spell. It's going to help you in the long haul in your attacks. So just something to really play around with and just have fun with. Zap Witches is an incredibly fun attack, and you could really start mastering this as long as you're just practicing with those different repetitions to get yourself as a better attacker while using the Zap Witches. Now, if you want to use nothing else but only 2 troops, the Zap Witches allows you to do that with 10 Super Giants and 15 regular Witches. Along with this, something that you guys may have never really thought about before was using the lightning spells on the Inferno Towers, but only using 1 Earthquake to get rid of both of them. This can actually help you save some space and maybe bring a poison and a freeze instead of just having to choose between one or the other. So you can actually just go ahead and get rid of these by using the 4 lightning on each and then 1 earthquake right in the middle between both of them in order to get rid of both Inferno Towers. Pretty simple stuff. And that allows you then to go in directly for the Town Hall. So as you can see from here, using the lightning spells first, getting rid of as many structures as you can, depending on how many are in there. But then you want to use that 1 earthquake right in between both of them and to get rid of them. That's not something that is more or less a big brain play, but a majority is just allowing yourself to really see that and can you take advantage of it. If you can take advantage of anything that the builders kind of mistaken for, like in that case, just take advantage of it. You will be able to get more value if you take advantage of different mistakes in a base design. So as you can see from here, once we've gotten everything kind of smoothed out, create the funnel, we're going to be able to have some of the witches go in this direction, same thing here, and allowing them all to move in. Another thing you may have noticed again is the use of a jump spell. You're noticing a common trend with all these replays that I'm showing you that the jump spell is probably one of the best ways to really save your attack, especially if it doesn't go exactly to plan. Like in this case here, we're using the Warden Eternal Tome, protecting the log launcher. We want to preserve its health, but along with this, we want to be able to get to the Town Hall. In this case, it would have been a little bit better to bring Sneaky Goblins instead of an Ice Golem and P.E.K.K.A, since literally that's the only storage there. So you just want to consider those different things, but if you're deciding on bringing a jump spell, you would really want to use it to get into areas of the base that are not yet open. That gives you a core idea on where to use it, and it's going to make it a little bit easier. You can still get to the Town Hall with the P.E.K.K.As and the Ice Golem. It's just going to provide a little bit more support. It's just going to take more time. So if you want to use Sneaky Goblins, you can always go ahead and do that. One thing I've never seen before, though, is witches jumping into the same compartment that already had an open wall. I've never seen that before, but it is incredibly funny just to see that happen. But I have no idea why. But you can still see from here on how strong this attack really is. Being able to get through the base and making it just that tad bit easier while having the skeletons and really any other smaller units, even the archers, to just overwhelm the rest of the structures in order for you to get the triple. Very simple nonetheless. And we've got one more example to really go over exactly the power of it. It may not be like this one, but this is another variation that you could try out in your wars. Now, taking everything that you guys have learned from this video and applying it to this one, you want to really look at exactly what you're getting rid of. So you're using the lightning spells on the outermost Inferno Towers, and then just using the Wall Wrecker. So the Wall Wrecker in this case, if you're going to use the Wall Wrecker, is a better option if there is less DPS. If there is more, the log launcher is a better option since it can stay back and take down walls from a distance. So you just want to consider those small factors if you're planning on using the Zap Witches. So make sure that what you're able to do is you're getting rid of the outermost Inferno Towers. That should be almost your step one when you're scouting a base, but like in this case here, getting rid of them is just going to help your attack even further. So then what you'll be able to do is use the Super Giants on both the left and the right sides in order to make it easier while using a couple regular witches and then able to power through. Now I know this is another video on the Zap Witch, and I've made a ton of them, but it really kind of is a good idea to learn some newer ways of using them. I've shown Super Giants vary here and there, but never have I ever seen Super Giants dominate with the witches as they are right now. So this is exactly what I would recommend using, and the thing is, you don't really need to use a Siege Barrack with this. If you don't have access to a Town Hall 13, you can use the Wall Wrecker. Unfortunately, the Log Launcher is another thing that you have at Town Hall 13, But, of course, if you can get it, that's awesome. If not, that's fine. The Wall Wrecker is probably going to be one of your best seed machines to use with this, which is the reason why I showed it to you guys in the beginning, and now here at the end. Allowing you to use the jump spell to get into that Town Hall compartment is something that you saw in the first one, which is entirely important. The jump spell plays a major role when using any of the witch attacks. So if I were you, I would highly recommend drop the rage spell from your clan castle and bring a jump spell. That is going to help your attacks, and it's going to make you better with this. So if you're struggling with the zap witches and you're getting more time fails, bring a jump spell. Because a lot of your witches could be just bashing away at a wall, and it could just be really detrimental to fix that up, use the jump spell to get all the way across the base, and make it easier for you to get the triple. So hopefully you guys take something away from that video. Make sure you guys leave a like on the video. Lets me know that you guys are enjoying it. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell for more educational yet fun Clash of Clans content. Make sure you guys go ahead and follow me over on the social and join my Discord server, and I'll be catching you in the next video. Corrupt, signing out.